Back with another video. Now, in today's video, guys, we are going to be once again re-ranking all the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books. And my opinion has definitely changed throughout 6 months. Obviously I'm wearing my elf costume or whatever it is again. I don't know. I guess it's just, close to Christmas time and, I was just going to wear it. And some future videos, probably after Christmas when I can get a mic, possibly for my computer, stuff like that. And I have like everything I might need to record. That's when I might make my first PC video. Also, I really want to make some PlayStation videos for you guys because I did get PUBG on the PS4, and I think it's a lot better than mobile because mobile is just slower. But they did get an update and said they're going to be having the Vikendi map coming out soon. So that's good as well. Also, after Christmas, I want to go over a couple things as well. I will be getting a lot of Goosebumps things as far as I think I know. After Christmas, I also got these two books, Fear Street and Final Grade. Well, that's a Fear Street as well. Books over here. So yeah, I'll probably be showing off my Goosebumps collection after Christmas. So a lot of things are going to be happening after Christmas because obviously I'm going to get a lot of new things for you guys, and I will also be making pretty soon an Endgame theory for Avengers Endgame because I've been digging into Marvel and I've been thinking about what could possibly happen in Avengers 4. But yeah, my decisions have changed for Diary of the Wimpy Kid throughout the past 6 months since the last one. And you guys really did love my Diary of the Wimpy Kid video. It seems that Diary of the Wimpy Kid was like the most popular video that has, well, not the most popular, but people really like Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And I was like, okay, why don't I just make a new ranking? Because the new Meltdown had came out in October, at the ending of October. So hopefully you guys would want to read that. I'm also going to get the movies from the back, so I will be back and we will start ranking. Alright, so I'm back with the movies, guys. So let's start out from number 13. The worst book, in my opinion, has now changed to Cabin Fever. Now, I've read this book before, and it just seems like I've never been able to finish it, I did finish it, but it just took me so long to read this book. And after figuring that out, I just really didn't like the book at all, to be honest with you. I was never really interested anymore. I didn't see any good moments or anything. The only really concept I liked about it was, they were stuck kind of in this wintry weather, kind of like the Meltdown, and I'll get to that when it comes up. But otherwise, I didn't like Cabin Fever. Now my opinions have changed, and it was just when I was reading it, I was struggling to read it because I just really didn't like it, but I wanted to finish it so I could get the full opinion, So yeah, Cabin Fever, not one of my favorites. Next is The Ugly Truth. The Ugly Truth is kind of the same. I got the same feeling about that as well. Not really a concept that I saw about the book. But this one did have some good moments, and I will admit that. But yeah, the only reason why some of these are on the below of my list is just, there's not really memorable moments. And that's why sometimes in books, when I don't remember things, I just know, hey, I didn't like the book. That's why I can't remember much about it. And the good books that I read, those are the ones that I remember. But The Ugly Truth, just not one of my favorites either. So, not a very bad book, but still on the bottom of the list is Old School. I know a lot of people liked Old School, but I guess I just didn't. I actually read the back one more time, and I was like, oh, now I kind of remember when I read Old School and, stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, there was some good moments in this. I liked how they took out the electronics and everything in the town, and they were making a lemonade stand. Really, just really crazy is what I like to see out of the book and everything. And Old School, I really, really liked this one. Well, I didn't like this one. Kind of the same with the other ones. The only reason why I really don't like some of the books that are on the bottom of the list is because they just didn't have any good moments. This one had some slightly good moments now that it's popped back into my head. But otherwise, yeah, old school, still at the bottom. Hard Luck. And that is number 10, I believe. Hard Luck. Now, this one, there was some interesting things I really liked about this one. I can remember when he was sending something to go through. It was like a time capsule. He was making that, you know. And when I saw Hard Luck come out, I was just like, I'm really actually curious what this is about. Because when I saw Hard Luck, I was like, But yeah, Hard Luck, not a good book, not a really bad book. There were some good moments, but otherwise, Hard Luck, number 10. Next is Double Down at number 9. So I really liked the ending of the book. I liked when they were recording each other in the movie, or not the movie, but the book. That's what I really liked about this book, was especially the ending of the book was really good, and I can still remember the ending, you know. I liked how like they're recording each other, you know, towards the ending. Yeah, I think it was just the ending that was really good, you know. Otherwise, I didn't really see anything else that stuck out much to me. Yeah, just not much. Even if I'm looking, you know, I'm flapping through the book. But otherwise, Double Down, I really liked the ending. It had some better concepts than obviously the other books on the list. But otherwise, Double Down, number 9. Next is The Last Straw. And what I would really like to see from The Last Straw is them making a movie for The Last Straw. And I know people were saying, well, you know, technically the books are not really in sequence, but I really want to see a movie for The Last Straw because, you know, they made the first one, then they made the second one, but then they skipped to the fourth one, which was Dog Days, and then they went all the way to The Long Haul. And I would really also like to see a book for The Getaway. I think that would be a very nice book to make. But The Last Straw as well, I'd really like it. And, you know, judging by the actors in The Long Haul, I think if they grew up with the movies and Die of the Wimpy Kid, they'd become pretty good actors. Just on The Long Haul, it was very bad timing. They just looked too young. But now that I think about it, I think they would be good to come on again because, you know, they'll just, you know, they'll start growing into the movies. And I think now would be a perfect time to start making a book, especially for those actors, because they just look so young in the movie. And, I mean, Rowley and Greg, they just look like they were in elementary school, you know. So now I think would be the good time to either make The Last Straw or The Getaway. Those are the two books that I really want to see them make. Those would be really nice. Or The Third Wheel. The Third Wheel would be pretty good as well. I like The Last Straw, especially the beginning. I can remember it was kind of a continuation off of, I believe, Roderick Rules. It talked a little bit about his summer, because in Roderick Rules, you know, I believe in the beginning he was talking about his horrible summer, and then this one, it kind of explains more of that. But yeah, The Last Straw, number 8, I believe. Next is Roderick Rules. Out of all the movies, I think this was probably the best movie, one of the best movies. Roderick Rules, I really liked it, and what I liked about this one is it showed more of Roderick's perspective, you know, how he thought of everything. It was like a Roderick diary. It didn't really, you know, have Roderick say anything, but you got to see what Roderick did in the family. What would make this book better is if it was made later on in the series, because we only had one book that we, you know, was talking about Greg Heffley, and I think the perfect time to bring this book in would have been on Where the Ugly Truth Was, the 5th book. Then this book, I think, would be a lot better because we didn't know much about Greg after just making one book, and then they just put in Roderick Rules. But I do like knowing about Roderick a little more. What I really like from Diary of the Wimpy Kid is they take down this series eventually, and they put in a new Diary of the Wimpy Kid, but it's like the high school series. He's having his high school. That would be really good, and I think that would get some more fans into Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And yeah, this book just really, I did like it, and the movie was really good as well. I have the movie right here. I only got it on Blu-ray, but yeah, the movie came out in 2011. The ending credits scene was really good. More of Roderick's perspective, stuff like that. So really great movie as well. So number 7, I think. Yeah, number 7, Roderick Rules. Number 6 is the original. We also have the movie for it as well. So the only thing I didn't like about this, I guess, is Raleigh just kind of, in the movie, kind of stepping out of it, because, he was getting mad at him and everything. I wanted to see more of Raleigh in the movie being friends with Greg, but I guess, we didn't. But otherwise, the book was really good. And this book right here is what told you who Greg really is. What he thinks about other people. When he looks at someone, what does he think in middle school, What do you think they do? And I just love how he called everybody names in the school in his head. He's like, you got juvenile delinquents over here. You got these morons over there. I think this is really... Diary of the Wimpy Kid kind of shows what I think about life almost every day. I'm not exactly, but like Diary of the Wimpy Kid kind of just reminds me of me sometimes. I don't know. It just kind of does. But this one really, really showed his perspective. And of course, the originals are always some of the best ones. So, number 6, the original. And we also have the movie over here, 2010. Really good movie. Old disc though. I've had this disc for a while now. Same with the Blu-ray for Diary of the Wimpy Kid Roderick Rules. But anyways, next up is The Long Haul. And number 5. The movie for this sucked. And that was because, like I said, the actors were put on too early. I made a rant about this, but the actors were just put on way too early. They looked way too young. Bad humor, but otherwise I thought the book was a lot better. And I think that out of all the movies, the movie was most like the book. And sometimes I don't like when the movie's like the book. I want to see more out of the book sometimes because, books are supposed to be more descriptive, but The Long Haul, I really like the book better than the movie, even though the movie was similar to the book. Most of the same stuff. And this is the movie disc. Came out in 2015, I think, in theaters. Or I'm not exactly sure. 2017. Maybe it was I can't remember when this thing came out. But yeah, I just think the actors came out too early for the movie. But obviously we're talking about the books here, and the book was really good, I have to admit. And because obviously you didn't see the crappy actors, it was pretty good. But in the movie, there's just a lot of bad humor. And that's what doesn't put this on to number 1 is because some of the bad humor in the movie. And sometimes the movies can bring down the book as well, especially when it's similar to it. So number 5 is The Long Haul. Number 4, The Third Wheel. This is another one where I'd like to see a movie from. I really liked the concept. And the concept was, he went on a Valentine's dance, love in the air. And this is what I think about kids all the time. They're, trying to get a date with a girl or something. And this is probably one of the best concepts I've seen out of the entire franchise is, Valentine's dance. It is just perfect for Greg's point of view. I really, really liked this. Just really, really funny. I really like when it's like that, and especially the third wheel, everything like that. Just a perfect concept, I think, especially for Greg's point of view, and yeah, I just, the whole Valentine's dance thing, it says love is in the air, but what does that mean for Greg Heffley? A Valentine's dance at Greg's middle school has turned his world upside down. As Greg scrambles to find a date, he's worried he'll be left out in the cold on the big night. So I just, I really like the concept of this book, and it was a really good book too. I enjoyed reading it. As not as bad as I thought it would be. And yeah, overall, just a really good book. Number 3. The new book, number 13, The Meltdown. So when I read this book and I finished it a couple of weeks ago, it was just a blast. I mean, this book was just a blast. I mean, the snowball fight thing, it's just like the third wheel. Perfect concept for Greg Heffley. I mean, the meltdown, stuff like that. I also love the imprint, the little wording, But it's just a perfect concept. They're throwing snowballs at each other. They're having, snowball fights. It's like the lower Shuri Street kids versus the upper Shuri Street kids. And I think it was placed into the season at the perfect time as well. Really good timing, really good concept. Overall, a really good book, and I think you would like this if you enjoyed it. It's basically about how this whole snowed in day, how the neighborhood shuts down, the schools shut down because everything's snowed in, and they have these huge snowball fights, and it's just a perfect concept. That's why I think The Meltdown. When it came in, I was like, I'm really curious about this book. And then it just all the way brought itself to number 3. So if they make a number 14, I'm really curious, and it will probably be next October. I'm really curious to what it would be about, and I really want to see a new series. So number 2 is still The Getaway, number 12 in the series. And The Getaway, what I liked about this is what I like to call family failure, where, you know how in movies you always see people thinking, oh, it's going to be a perfect vacation. Everything's got to be perfect. We're going to be a good family. And what this really shows family failure. And I love family failure because it's good humor. It's kind of like The Long Haul as well. Family failure, you're trying to have a good vacation, but, you don't have a good vacation. And then in the end, you're like, it's the best vacation ever. It was just a blast. And I, again, love that background where they're trying to take the picture and everything. The vacation was great where they went on this little island and everything. And at first I thought it was where they were going on a little trip to space, judging by the cover. But otherwise, just a really, really good book. I loved seeing, them going vacation and everything. There's some good humor in this book as well. But otherwise, this is the one book I really, really, really want to see a movie on. But yeah, overall, just a really great book. And it still holds number 2 for me. And I think it's going to be at that number 2 spot for a while. And number 1 is still Dog Days. And I also have the movie. Out of all of them, I think this was the best movie in front of Roderick Rules. Dog Days, I just loved the whole summer thing. I loved how the dog came in. The movie was great. And then you had Heverly, or what was her name? Holly Hills, and then there was Heather Hills, who came into the movie, and it was kind of like Roderick's Heather Hills, basically. Lots of great humor. I loved seeing what Greg would do over the summer. You just play video games, stuff like that. Just a really great concept again, and that's what I love about the Diary of the Wimpy Kids books, is some of them, when they don't give a good concept, they are not a good book. And this one made one of the best concepts yet in the series. And that's why I still like Dog Days. So, what do you think about my ranking? I also have the 4 DVDs that they've made so far right here, and the 13 books. What do you think about my re-ranking? Put your favorite book in the description or the comments down below. So I'm going to be making a lot of new videos after Christmas especially. So yeah, you'll be expecting some new videos after Christmas as well. Probably one video before Christmas, something like that. So yeah, obviously I'm going to make a lot of videos after Christmas because I'm just going to get some new stuff. I want to show you the new stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed my ranking, and I will see you in the next